Well, it was a big storm we had last night with no electricity for all the way through till the morning, and so it was lucky for me that I actually have today off because I didn't have to get up in the dark with no electricity. Now the interesting thing is, although it is winter, it's only moving into mid-January, we already have lots of signs of spring this year. We've had it pretty mild, and the storm that came through last night actually warmed the air up, even though it's supposed to turn cold over the next few days. Being January, we should get some cold. But look, here's something interesting. Daffodils, and they're daffodils with flower buds. There's a flower bud, so that's pretty exciting, but also interesting. This is unusual because there's actually a rose here flowering away. Sadly, it has no scent. But this is here we can see Mahonia in flower. Mahonia is an ornamental shrub, and it always flowers in the winter. But here's what's really interesting: ivy, and birds really depend on ivy because the ivy it flowers in autumn, which is strange for any plant in the northern hemisphere, but it seems to do it so it's not to compete with other plants. But then it has berries in spring, winter and spring, which the birds depend on. So here are the berries, and lots of birds feed on those berries. And here are some starlings, and they're doing lots of imitations. That one there is a buzzard. A wolf whistle, which may or may not be the starling's own wolf whistle. That's a blackbird, a genuine blackbird calling. And that's the wolf whistle again, whatever the starlings base that on, I'm not sure, unless it's an actual wolf whistle they're imitating. Unfortunately, because of the noise of the machine, it's hard to hear what they're saying. And they've turned their back on me. That's an oyster catcher. Isn't that brilliant? Oyster catcher call. Starlings are related to myna birds, close relatives, and they're able to imitate just as well as a myna bird, in fact possibly better. Now here's something very exciting. Tulips. Those are actual tulips coming up. They're only a bit above the ground right now. They are tulips. There's nothing quite as nice as a tulip. And if you listen carefully, you can hear collared doves doing their mating calls already, their spring mating calls, or territorial proclamations basically, just to let other birds know that this is their nesting territory. Although I have to say, although I have seen collared doves fighting, they don't fight really badly like some birds. They're quite tolerant. You can often have 3 or 4 nests, although they may all be related, in the same garden. And they often hang around together then in the autumn, like all the babies. The new ones, the young birds, will all be together, hanging around like a big family of cousins and everything like that. And of course, sometimes they have more than one clutch, so that means there's like a sort of a whole bunch to come out together. Well, it's usually actually only 1 or 2 young, but then you'll have another clutch later. Sometimes they get 2 going. Usually it's only 1 bird because the nests are very small and messy. And if a storm like last night hit, that'd be the end of them, because they'd just be ripped out of the trees.